Hello and welcome all of you to this class of communication theories and principles of communication. We are at the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Central University of Odisha, and I am your course instructor, Dr. Sourav Gupta. Wish you all a very happy New Year 2021. I will be discussing the topic functions of media today. And so, to discuss that topic, I would request all of you to kindly tell me what actually do you think is the function of the media. We'll go one by one, and after that, I'll sum up the discussion. So, can I request? I mean, you all to kindly tell me what is your idea of functions of media. Since no one is volunteering, so I think we
Sir,
can
to
go.
inform,
Okay, is it who is it? Barsha.
yes, sir.
Okay, Barsha. Barsha is saying to inform. Can you elaborate it a little bit? Can you
Sir,
explain
it
what
could be to inform, involve, and to integrate.
inform, involve, and can you elaborate a little bit? I mean, instead of saying these words, what do you actually mean?
So, basically, mass communication is something where a message or information is delivered to some people or some countable number of people or infinite audience. So it basically involves involving the people, their participation, and informing them where we inform and they get informed, and integrate where people when they get some information, they make their decision. Some of the where they make a decision that is based on mutual decision, so that integrates them, and like this.
Moshumi, it's good. Can you give one example?
So we can talk about the election period where not only news televisions but peoples and audiences, they become the decision makers, and they get involved in making a decision where they participate in making a decision for choosing their own leader.
Yeah,
And
yeah. This is also a concept you are telling. I want an example.
okay, examples.
Okay,
I
you
think
think.
what do
Later
you
on, you
want?
tell me. You think. It's a
Okay,
good explanation you have given. Thank you very much.
okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else?
So,
Sir,
examples will be radio, television, social networking sites.
Yes. Carry on. It's you complete the sentence.
Sir, the examples will be radio, television, social networking sites, which we can, where the where it goes around in the mass. So it will be radio, television, social networking sites, when one can upload their information and others can hear or watch or something like that.
Okay. This is also a concept. It is not an example actually. So
sir,
anyway, thank you. Thank you, Megha. Yes. Yes. Tell.
sir, the I
So
think the best
education,
example is COVID vaccine.
Okay.
Nowadays, the central government passed three vaccines. मतलब तीन वैक्सीन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट पास किया है जो टीका लगाया जाएगा हर पब्लिक को
Hmm.
जिसमें सर
So,
एक
what is the function of the media? We are discussing the function of the media.
अभी सर बेस्ट मतलब जैसा कि एक दोस्त में मतलब एक फ्रेंड ने कहा कि इन प्रोवाइडिंग इंफॉर्मेशन और साथ ही साथ सर मीडिया का फंक्शन है कि मतलब जनरल पीपल से इंटरेक्ट करना और उनका भी ओपिनियन गेन करना, उनका भी ओपिनियन जानना कि वो क्या सोचते हैं किसी पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक के बारे में।
ऐसा ऐसा कोई मीडिया ने किया है, आपकी जानकारी में है? मतलब आपने देखा अभी किसी को करते हुए? कोई न्यूज़पेपर या कोई चैनल आपने देखा है जो कोविड वैक्सीन के ऊपर इस तरह का काम कर रहा है?
नहीं सर, कोविड वैक्सीन के ऊपर तो सर नहीं कर रहा है।
नहीं, मुझे लग रहा है आप मीडिया को फॉलो नहीं कर रहे हैं। आप थोड़ा न्यूज़पेपर्स फॉलो कीजिए, चैनल्स में न्यूज़ सुनिए डेली। अभी आजकल सिर्फ यही इसी पे चर्चा हो रहा है।
ओके सर।
यही मुद्दा है अभी। ओके,
यस।
थैंक यू फॉर योर व्यूज। नेक्स्ट।
So media functions as the medium to connect public with the government.
To connect public with the government. Very good. Can you give one example?
Like the new policies that are discussed uh, in the government sectors, media helps to like transfer that message to the public
New
by
policy.
uh,
Example. Give one example.
that section 144 or something recently that says that more than four people can't be gathered together. Media
Just
helps that.
That's section 144, I guess.
I said that 144.
But it is used in special cases.
Those types of policies are made available to the public to know through
okay. Okay.
media.
Hmm. Good. Thank you, Pranuti. Okay. Can we have some more views?
Sometimes media work is an educator. Education is its main purpose, like Gyan Bharati, NPTEL channel.
Okay. Okay. So you consider Gyan Bharati and NPTL to be media. Do you think they are media? What kind of media it is? Gyan Bharati and
Education
NPTL?
channel.
Hmm?
Education channel. Sir.
Education TV channels. Gyan Bharati is a TV channel.
Sorry, like
And what is NPTL?
sir,
Okay.
a channel.
A channel. Okay. See, when you say it's a channel, I mean you have to specify that what kind of a channel it is. Is it a TV channel or a radio channel? Or I mean, is it on social media? So you have to specify the media also. Anyway, so it's a good point which she has raised, that NPTL and Gyan Bharati are examples of educational media. So media basically imparts education. That is what she is trying to say actually. Thank you.
So basically, its work is to aware people.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Abhijit, please go on, go on. Awareness. You
Its
are
work
speaking
is,
about awareness.
yes, so its a work is to spread awareness amongst people that
Hmm.
what government is availing to them, and to be a loyal watchdog of the society.
Can you give some examples? See, when you are using these terms, loyal watchdog of this society, what do you actually mean? Can you explain it?
Yes, sir. To be loyal means we should not uh, give paid news to them what nowadays are going on. So to give them the news that are going on and without being uh, bribed of
Okay,
some
so you are
government
saying
official.
that the media should be honest.
So
Good. Fine. So this is Abhijit has said that about the government. That is the same point which Pranati had also raised. And one important thing Abhijit has said is that the media should be honest. It should not present paid news. Means news which involves money. Media sometimes takes money to highlight or to publish a particular news. Right. Okay. So, Shruti, you were saying something? Please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So media, the one of the functions would be it helps in facing disaster and calamities, and media plays a very important role in providing the populace with information regarding earthquakes and problems caused by it. So, the more the media pays attention to the incidents surrounding the natural disaster, the better the knowledge of people regarding the incident will be, which can also help calm the victims. So, yes, it plays a vital role in the management of disasters by educating people about consequences, hazard warnings, and gathering and transmitting information about affected areas and alerting the government for rescue and relief. It has happened so much in Odisha, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, that is the point which was raised in the beginning by Borsha and Moshumi, that
Yes,
the media's role is to inform. So basically,
yes,
there are various kinds of information. You have
yes,
given a good example, which is disaster management and information regarding the natural disasters. So that is
yes.
a very good example you have given of the informative role of the media.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So next, any more views? We are discussing the functions of the media. You are welcome to give your viewpoints.
Good
Nobody is
morning.
allowed to keep quiet here. Everyone has to speak. Yes, Shagurika, please.
Sir, the major function can be sending and sharing of information or to entertain, to transmit culture.
Sending, sharing of information. This was discussed. Now it is, you said entertainment. A very good point you have raised. Entertainment. Right. Can you give one example?
The media entertain through TV channels, like
Which
through
how does TV channels entertain us? Can you give any one example of a
reality
particular?
shows are there. So,
I mean, what do you find entertaining in a TV channel?
through reality shows like dance,
Okay, dance reality shows. These are entertaining, right? I
singing
fi-
reality shows.
if you ask me, I find the news channels most entertaining, especially the panel discussions where they fight, where they do boxing with each other. That is the most entertaining part of television for me, actually.
So in
Okay,
every channel there is a shows that both sides that maybe.
okay. I didn't exactly understand. What did you tell? You can type in the chat box. Okay, Lingoraj has says that media also persuades. Now, what is the meaning of persuasion? Who will tell us? What is the meaning of this line that media persuades? Yes, Shadana, please go on.
So nowadays, media doesn't maintain the objectivity of news. Most of the news is paid.
Right. We are discussing the functions of the media. What is the function of the media according to you?
Aware people, uh,
Okay. Media creates awareness. Yes, this point has been also raised earlier by Abhijit. What else? Anything else you want to say? Thank you. Yes, Moshumi, you were saying something. Okay, please complete what you wanted.
Sir, since you said the meaning of asked reading regarding the meaning of persuade, so it could be
Yes.
like manipulating the audience or raising questions which could uh, raise regarding the awareness or regarding a particular scene or situation which is happening. So yes, it also persuades people.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you very much. So Moshumi is saying that persuasion actually means manipulation of the audience, manipulating the audience. Now, Linguraj is also saying that persuade means Vishwas Dilana. Okay. That means basically to convince the people. So, see, when we were discussing about Aristotle's model of communication, there we saw that a speaker uses logos, ethos, and pathos to create a speech, to construct sentences. He chooses the right word, he adds emotion to it. Why does he do all these things? The reason is only one: he wants to convince the people that whatever he is saying, the people should believe, the audience should believe in his words. So, yes, media obviously tries to persuade. That is there. One of the functions of the media is to persuade the people to believe in what they are saying. Amit has written that there are many functions of media: TV channels, radio, newspaper, social sites. Yes, true. I mean, that is what I want to know, Amit. What are those many functions? That is what exactly I'm asking.
So, according to me, media also plays a very important role in the political world. And
Hmm.
when we connect this with the persuade means yes, manipulating or convincing, and convincing through many various ways, like arguing with a particular topic and convincing people or manipulating them. So this
Argument.
is very rare with the this is very we could see it very rarely in the political world, this arguing and persuading people.
Right. Argument. Argument is a very interesting thing actually. Acha, any one of you read? There is a book called The Argumentative Indian. Has anyone read it? The Argumentative.
Yes, sir.
Abhijit?
Yes, sir. It is an NCRT, I guess. Yes, sir. It's an NCRT, I guess.
No, no, no. No. It is not in the NCERT. The
By
argument.
Bipin Chandra, sir.
No. The Argumentative Indian is a wonderful book which has been written by Nobel laureate Professor Amartya Sen. It has been translated into various languages in India as well as abroad. Almost 30 languages it has been translated. I don't know whether it is available in Oriya or not, but I would, if you get time, I mean, from reading from your syllabus, you please read this book, The Argumentative India. See, argument, tarko, bitarko, discourse, debate. This is in Indian culture for a long time. The culture of debating and discoursing is there in our Indian culture for a long time. If you remember, during the days of Gupta Empire, before that also, during Nanda Empire, during the times of Takshila and Nalanda, India used to be an educational hub, a hub for social science research. And Pandits and scholars from all over the world used to gather at Nalanda and Takshila to debate and discourse and to argue on different topics of philosophy and theosophy. The same thing happened in ancient Rome and Greece also, where Plato opened a school and his illustrious students like Aristotle. These people, they Pythagoras and all the famous scholars, philosophers, mathematicians, Socrates, all of them, they indulged in discourse and debates and argument. Media, basically, one of the most important functions of the media is to create an argumentative mind. See, do you know what is the main difference between a army man, means a military man, or a police and a journalist? If I ask you what is the main difference between an army or a policeman with a journalist? The difference is a man who is serving the army or the police is supposed to obey, is supposed to follow the instructions. He is not allowed to do anything else other than obeying the instructions or following the orders. A journalist has to do exactly the opposite. He is supposed to question, he is supposed to challenge. So, a journalist should possess an argumentative mind, because unless you are suspicious, unless you have a questioning tendency, you cannot find out whether a certain phenomena is in favor of the people or against the people. And the work of the media, any good media, any progressive media, is to instill this questioning inquisitiveness in their audience. Means when you watch the media, when you read the newspaper, you as an individual, as a democratic person, you should have questions in your mind. You should be asking questions. You should be arguing and not blindly following the government or your ruler or your state. You should have the courage to ask the question, because after all it is your government, it is your money. So that is what is known as an argumentative mind. Okay, okay, let's move on. Any more views or any more opinions? Anything, anyone else wants to say? We are,
So,
yes, Pranati.
so media works as a platform for the talents to showcase and gain respect and popularity.
Fine. Platform for showcasing talent. I think you are referring to these reality shows also, where
So,
many young,
newspapers also publish some drawings and stories and poems of some peoples.
yes, exactly, exactly. And one very good,
Media as a source of entertainment.
yeah, entertainment. That this point has been discussed just now. Sagarika had raised this issue of entertainment. And media indeed is a very good source of entertainment. Pranati, if I think the most interesting part of the newspaper is the letters to editor. I would request all of you, as students of journalism, to write letters to the editor. Whichever newspaper you are reading, please develop a habit of writing one letter to the editor once a week on any issue which you interests you, on the coverage provided by that certain newspaper. You should critique it. Whatever has come out in the newspaper, you go through it, and if you have any observation, please write it to the editor. Your letter will be published in the letters to editor section. I think that is the best way you can actually highlight how good a journalist you can become in the future, or leave this journalist thing. I think you can showcase yourself as a learned, educated and a thinking citizen of this country. So please write one letter every week in the letters to the editor section. Okay, any more opinions regarding this? Anything more? I think I should sum up now and give my own views regarding this. Uh, but I am afraid that Ambaresh has not given any opinion till now. Ambaresh,
Yes, sir. Yes,
can
sir.
you kindly give your opinion on the function of media?
Sir, media attempt to create the public opinion, providing the audience with a realistic. Sir,
Example, please give an example.
sir, economic function on a marketplace
Okay,
information. So
okay, you
political,
are
sir, political information.
Political
Sir,
information.
transmitted culture, sir. Sir, transmitted culture.
Transmitted culture, yes. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I think Ambarish has raised a very good point. That is, Ambarish, you mute yourself,
Thank you, sir.
please. One very good point he has raised regarding the economy. I think we have, every one of us, we have missed this particular point. See, the economy of our country.
Hello, sir.
Linguraj.
Hello. Hello, sir. Good
Hello.
morning.
Good morning.
Sir, sir, as we have already know, the Indian media is fourth pillar of democracy.
Hmm.
So, don't you think that this pillar has been shaken with the rise of social media?
Okay, this topic is not directly related to what we are discussing right now. Still, if you ask me, first thing is that, I mean, what I think, that is immaterial. Let us all, we can discuss this point in another class. It will take 1 hour to discuss this point. I
Sure,
cannot
sure, sir.
say, yes, I think, or no, I don't think, and the matter is over. It's not like that. But this is a valid point. Actually, it needs a little bit of elaboration. Coming back to what I was saying, Ambarish has raised one very good point, that is regarding the economy. See, all of you are right now, you are not earning. I don't know whether any one of you are in any job or business. I don't know. But I presume that all of you are certified, uh, you know, unemployed people. So, in student life, what happens is we are a little bit cut off from the economy of our country. We really do not understand that the country is running on a economic model. In our country, we are following a mixed economic pattern. Is there anyone from economics background here? Anyone who has studied
Yes,
economics?
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Acha Shruti, what is mixed economy? Please tell me. No
sir,
problem.
प्राइवेट और गवर्नमेंट दोनों का कंट्रीब्यूशन जिसमें है.
सर
बिल्कुल.
बोथ कैपिटलिज्म एंड सोशलिज्म का भी
Yes.
जिसमें है.
Right. You are right, Shruti. You are right, Linguraj. Thank you. Well, thanks to both of you. So, in our country, we are following a mixed economy pattern where government has the fair share of, basically, the government is preparing the policies and the rules and the regulations. But the private sector, especially since 1991, when economic liberalization was done in our country, since that time, the private sector has come up in a very major manner. And right now, basically, we are on a shift from mixed economy to capitalistic economy. Earlier, it was totally socialistic economy. Then it became mixed. Now, from mixed, we are moving to capitalistic economy. The private sector is going to be a major player in the next. See, every now and then, today, tomorrow, we are getting news regarding privatization of the railways. So, if a government, such a huge organization like the Indian Railways, if it is privatized, then you can very well understand that in the coming days there will be nothing called the government sector. Basically, we are heading towards privatization. So the government will only be a policy making and a rule making authority. So right now our country is in a transition phase. Now the point is that there is something known as how do these private companies, from where do they get their capital? They basically get their capital from the common man in the form of shares and stocks. Anyone who has any idea about the share market, you have no idea. I mean, such a huge economic authority and the future of our country. If the share market crashes tomorrow, all of us will be jobless. The entire country will be ruined, and the economy of the country is the main backbone of our nation. Today we are all sitting in this Google Meet and we are discussing so many things. We are in a luxury because the economy is standing firmly. The day the economy, I think, I don't know whether you have read about the economic regression, the great economic depression, which happened in the US a few years ago. The Walmart, the stock exchange there, it collapsed basically during 2000. And speaking about 2008, the great economic depression. Fortunately, India's economy even that time was very strong. Even during this lockdown period also, many economy has been, in many countries economy is totally devastated. Somehow still in India we have managed to hold on still now. It remains to be seen what happens in the coming days. So I mean, this is something which the media, all the newspapers, all the TV channels, you see there is a separate part for economic news. There are specialized newspapers like the Economic Times, hmm, the Economic Tribune. There is the Hindu Business Line, separate magazines for specially focusing on the economy. So that is a very important part. Tomorrow, suppose you are thinking that I will not do any job, I would make an independent career. So you can engage in share trading. Nowadays, it has become totally online. I don't know whether you have heard about sharekhan.com or something like that. There are websites where you can register yourself as share traders. Online DMAT is something which is coming up. Then earlier we used to invest our money in insurance, LIC. Now people, economic advisors are saying, don't do that. You put your money in SIP. SIP is mutual funds, systematic investment plan. So I mean, the woman might tell me that what is the existing rate of gold in the market. Every day, the gold rates are getting changed. You know, our government has something known as the gold reserve, which is again the backbone of the government. So there are so many things, I mean, in economy, which the media has to address. Every now and then we are coming across so many reports, the how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the Indian economy. So this is another important area where the media is actually uh, creating a lot of awareness, information. Because tomorrow you want to say purchase a share of a certain company, you have 1000 rupees with you. Have any one of you seen the film Guru, the recent film, which was based on the life of Dhiru Bhai Ambani, Abhishek Bachchan and Aishwarya Rai? If you see that film, then you will understand how a person, like a common man, a very small businessman from Gujarat, like Dhiru Bhai Ambani, he created an empire known as Reliance. He created an empire known as Reliance. How he created that? Based on share market, based on shares. If you see that film, you'll come to know how economy operates in India. So, just very quickly, I would like to show you something. So, wonderful points have come up. I'm very happy that all of you have spoken, and all the points have been covered. So, when you write your answer, I request all of you to, you know, write all these points. So I would just like to show you a few other things which I think we should consider while basically this is global village. This is a word which I wanted to tell you actually, because now we are living in a globalized economy. So it's, you see, a young man or a woman like you, a university student of Odisha, and a university student of the United Kingdom, say London, there is not much difference between the thought process of a student of a London university and a student of the Central University of Odisha. So our thoughts are also becoming globalized. Hmm. So we do not really think on a national level or a regional level. We are thinking on a global level. We see people, going to abroad to pursue higher studies, sometimes to do jobs also. There's a huge Asian population in the US and the UK who are basically deciding the future of their country. Another thing is nation building. The media has always played a very important role in nation building, be it in the struggle for independence against the British. Even after that, in independent India also, whenever has been any crisis, whenever there has been any, see this COVID-19. I'm giving you one example. We have had so many people affected. They died. They but at least 50% of the people today, they are wearing the masks. I When I go out, I see that out of 10, 5 people are not wearing masks. But there are 5 people who are actually wearing masks. So, I mean, we have to give a little bit of credit to the media here also. So I would say this is nation building. I mean, there could have been so many more people casualties, but due to the media's positive and active intervention, at least 50% of our population, they have realized the importance of wearing masks and hand washing. And this is the point about debate and arguments, which I have already said. Awareness, we have discussed, helps in bringing the world together. COVID is the prime example. Cheap way of communication. This is, I think, very important. I mean, today we can, earlier, I remember when I had to call up my relatives in other states, I had to pay STD charges, station trunk dialing. Or when I had to call my elder sister in London, I had to pay ISD charges. But now, due to WhatsApp, it has become much more cheap. Now I can talk to her for hours. So it has made communication cheaper. Then the sense of what is wrong and right, it helps us to get data and information, entertainment. Also, if you want to actually come to know or what is available in the market, advertisements are great sources of information. Advertisement provides us choices. Mm. And obviously uh, there are some negative connotations also, which we will discuss. The fourth pillar point, which was raised by Lingoraj, um, so there are positive and negative impacts. We know today that it is a known fact that all the media are not fair, all the media are not objective. Something I think Shaduna was telling, that the media is not objective. That is true. Today we know that some media, they are working for money only. So it is our responsibility to reject those medias. But we can't deny the fact that media affects our knowledge, attitude, and behavior. So, flow of information. Today, we are living in an information society. Information society. We are always informed. Every second in WhatsApp or in Google or in Gmail, something or other information is coming to us. Have you ever counted daily how many emails you get and what are the subject matters of those emails? So there is a constant flow of information. Information is coming to us. Sometimes the media also interprets the information. Interprets. Means whether it is good or bad, what impact will it have on our lives? Hmm. So, having said this, there are some responsibilities. If we say that the media is the fourth pillar of democracy, the media also should perform their responsibilities. It should be objective. And that is why we are basically running journalism courses in the universities. Because I expect, or the country expects, that students like you Tomorrow, when you go out to the industry, you will not compromise with ethics. So that is why all these things are being discussed in these courses. And media has the ability to actually bring about a change, maybe in a very small way, in a micro level, but it can. If it cannot bring any change in the system, at least it can bring a change in our psyche, in our way of thinking. It can make us a better human being. So it's either side. I mean, the people and the media both are actually involved in this process. So this is one, and another thing, a few more interesting slides. I would show you, and I'll finish this. Mm. This is regarding children, and yeah. See, this is something which I have. I think everyone has a kid in their family, or you must be seeing your elder brothers or sisters or seniors, whoever has a kid in the family. Have you seen that nowadays how important the mobile phone has become to engage the kids, especially when the both the parents are working parents. Earlier, we used to have this notion of, the mother staying in home and taking care of the child, the grandmother and grandfather taking care of the child. But nowadays, in urban lifestyle, especially in urban centers where we have, you know, there is very recently one of my brother is getting married. So he was basically working in TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. He did his engineering from Pune, and then he got a placement in TCS. There he met a girl, her colleague, his colleague actually. She's also working in TCS. They fall in love and now they are married. And they have now settled down in Pune. So tomorrow, when they have a child, how are they going to, I mean, what kind of parenting the child is going to get? Here, the media is becoming very important, especially the smartphone. I see that every parent, when they cannot handle their child anymore, I mean, the child is getting restless, a mobile phone is handed over to the child. And you won't imagine, 3-year-old, 2-year-old child, they know how to log into YouTube and select their videos of their preference. This is happening. So, I mean, I thought that today I should discuss this with all of you. We should include these points also in our discussion. So, there are some more things also, even when the child grows up. Hmm. It's not only the kids. When he grows up, different age groups. I mean, what kind of a development, child development it is? See, here something is written. I mean, if you see today's kids, they know how to pose in front of the camera. They know how to dress up actually. I mean, have you seen the most costliest dresses are actually Ginny and Johnny? If you go to buy a child's dress, it is the most costliest thing. Child fashion has become a new industry. Why these things are happening? Somewhere down the line, the media actually is, making a very, very, very fine impact. So I'm basically concerned about the children and the future of our country. So I thought that I should actually, raise these things in front of you. I think too much of Western culture, too much of vulgarity, too much of artificiality is affecting the future of our country. With this, I come to the end of my presentation. And so, on that note, uh, let's conclude today's session. Thank you very much, and till we meet again.